Hello, my friends. I am once again going to take a video away from Karstus Mugaro and focus in on, well, an announcement that feel a lot like a standard Fatshark announcement. For those of you who don't know, this channel is mostly RimWorld storytelling, along with animated, voice-acted stories. There will be a brand new series starting on Saturday, and that's where the primary focus is, and I'm really looking forward to Space Marine 2 coming out and being able to do some of the co-op with a lot of the lads here on the channel. There is a Discord that you can go to, so you can always find the next video in case you don't get it sent to you. There is also a Patreon. Thank you to those Patreon supporters. And, you know, if you like the video, like, subscribe, comment, blah, blah, blah. But let's get into the the announcement of absolutely zero surprises. Hey there, devoted rejects. It's that time of year again. During the month of July, a lot of people in Sweden take time off to enjoy the peak summer weather before it disappears. A lot of employees at Fatshark take this time too. While not everyone is going to be away, there will be less hotfixes during this time. The next hotfix is expected in the first full week of August. Before we get into that, let's see. The first full week of August is going to be the 5th. Between the 4th and the 10th is the first full week of August. So, essentially, Fatshark is taking a 4-week vacation. That's different from any other month that Fatshark is supposedly working. I don't know how that's different, but I digress. Let's continue. We know communication from us has been a sore point for the community, and we're working on it. Sore point doesn't even cover it. It's why I stopped covering your game for almost a year, because you stopped doing anything for your game for almost a year. This isn't going to be a period of silence. It's going to be 4 weeks of maybe one post, and then constant reminders that they have a cash shop. We are working through pages and pages of feedback that you'll mostly ignore, from the introduction to itemization rework dev blog. Yeah, you're going to ignore most of it because a lot of it is comments that tell you to put in a solo mode. And let's be fair, lads, we all know for a fact you can hammer it, you can harass them about it, they're not going to change it. You know it, I know it, everybody knows it. There will not be a solo mode coming to Darktide. You can't change it, it's just not going to be here. I'm sorry. It sucks, I know, they were so close with private games. After talking more with the team, we hope to begin dropping at least a couple updates and responses to those questions in the form of additional news posts throughout July, with longer posts coming in April. I don't care what you need as content. You don't need a vacation, you need content. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to tell you, you don't need a vacation. I'm sorry to try and strip that away from you. It feels like, from a player's perspective, your entire mantra to game design is constantly on vacation and focusing on projects that are so old they should have been let go of 3 years ago. But I digress. I know there's plenty of people that play Vermintide 2. You guys are fantastic. I appreciate you guys. But your game should have been let go of 3 years ago, and it should be being kept up by modders. That's just my opinion. We are also working on a couple of dev blogs about creating Darktide and what it looks like from a game development perspective. Think cinematics, voiceovers, and audio, etc. These will be coming in July as well. I can tell you one thing. I appreciate always when I see fellow voice actors behind the booth and doing their lines and having a good time with it. I appreciate that. I think that is some of the most wholesome content that you can create. I'm also going to give you all a bit more of a benefit of the doubt, because there's a man that I respect immensely on this platform, and that is Thor of Pirate Software, who gave a good reminder recently that being a developer is very hard, and it's not as easy to just flip a switch. And there are a lot of things that do create a lot of effort and a lot of hiccups along the way that we as players and consumers of the content tend to forget and kind of lose sight of down the line. What I am going to say is that I will give you guys the benefit of the doubt, but I don't care what goes on behind the scenes anymore, especially for this game. What I care about is the production of content for the player base to absorb. I like Darktide. I've always liked Darktide. I will still like Darktide. But I've always been fair, and I've always been critical. I give props when props are due, and I take props away when props are not due. We need to be able to hold Fatshark accountable for their lack of pretty much everything. Lack of accountability, lack of communication, lack of content. Their most continual content is Cash Shop. That is it. And even Cash Shop has errors, has issues. There's clipping issues, body frame issues, so many stupid issues that they have. It amazes me that it is still the main focus of their content and they don't shift into doing more free, earnable items within the fucking game. I will always be critical of Fatshark. I'm probably one of the very few content creators who's critical of Fatshark, but I think they can succeed if they just focus. Back to the thing though. Thank you again for the feedback recently and opportunity to change the momentum. We'll be talking soon. P.S. In the meantime, have you listened to the newest Darktide OST? I don't care about your OST. You've always had bangers for music. You have a fantastic composer. Let's all be clear. The music for this game is by far some of the best music you could get in any kind of game, and it fits the theme of 40k so well. It rivals, I can't even remember, the Bounty Hunter one. It rivals the Bounty Hunter one in quality. You have a fantastic game. The core gameplay loop for Darktide is great. It's the grind that you force players to be on that sucks. It's the limitations that you are continuously lollygagging on that suck. There's so much more that you could improve on and focus on and then let your crew take a vacation. There's a lot of times where I think there's a lot of sour points within the community. Because if you look through the comments of it, a lot of people are saying a lot of the same thing. In fact, it's one of the few times I'll ever go to the comments section here. There are people who are saying enjoy the summer holiday, and you know what? I hope you do enjoy it. But just to let you know that it's, again, burning away what goodwill you do have left with your community. And it's kind of making people have that sour taste in their mouths. Especially the people who really enjoy the game and feel like, great, you've unleashed a new update. The event is almost over. I think it might already be done. I haven't checked today. There's nothing else coming down the pipeline, right? So it's going to be a month of no extra content where, like, maybe if you took my ideas from my last video, you could unleash another new event to go on. And I think you should, Fatshark. I think it would help placate some people who are very upset that there's nothing coming for an entire month. Let's be clear. We all know there's not going to be any content. If there's an event, I'll take that statement back. I'll say I was wrong, but it definitely feels like you're not going to really try. Here's one of my favorite comments right here. We know communication from us has been lacking in the communication department, and we're working on communicating our lack of communication with the community via more communications regarding less communications due to this communicating how we don't communicate enough. I love that. By the way, that's fantastic because it feels so true. It feels so true. Sure, employees' welfare is more important than anything, absolutely. But again, I don't think this game can wait a few weeks longer for an update. It's not a game that can wait. It needs more. You know, it's tough. It's tough for players to be excited for you guys to say you're going on a vacation and want to still play and support you. That's one thing you have to keep in mind. All in all, I think this is a mistake. This is a mistake because there's a majority of your player base that will not give a shit that you're going on vacation. What they will give a shit about is you are going away for a month. You are letting your entire team basically go away for a month, and you'll be back in August, and what you're providing us as content for the game is blog posts and trying to get us to feel empathy and sympathy for you from a game developer's perspective on cinematics, voiceovers, audio, etc. While I understand your position, this is not the route to go. This is not the way that you should be going about it. This is bad. I understand what you're trying to do, but trying to garner empathy and sympathy from a community that feels very jaded and very ignored by you is not the way to go. All right? I hope you have a wonderful vacation, and I hope you come back, and I hope you start pumping content out harder and faster than you ever have before. I hope you put a focus into Darktide that is better than you've ever had for any of your games before. Really, I hope you do. I hope you do, because Fatshark, you need to grind harder than ever before to get that goodwill back with the community. You really do. Best of luck, Fatshark. I'll see you in August. With that, everybody, you heard my spiel earlier. Have a good rest of the day, and I'll see you in game. Take care.